a very, very, very good morning. Thank you all for taking out some time on Saturday and joining us. We are here from Classify platform, and I'm an IBEN member in IB since last 15 years now. I'm working as a Continuum Workshop Leader. Absolutely love teaching and learning French. I'm an optimistic person. I love exploring new strategies, new tools to continuously make my teaching and learning more and more powerful. I also love sharing. So the moment I get to know something good, I share it with my peers. And that's exactly what I'm doing over here. Certain, can you quickly introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Satan Tenzin, and I have been associated with Classify, and actually I'm an IBPYP teacher. So it will be lovely interacting with every one of you and learning about the MYP lesson planning, which Sheeza will be taking us through.
Thank you so much. All right, so we are going to play a quick icebreaker game here. We are going to have three words that actually describes you, resonates with you. So you can say, I put three for me. It's passionate IB learner, love French, and optimistic. So I just want to give you another 1 minute to think about yourself and let us know what three words resonates with you the most. I have some lovely answers already coming in. So the moment you see on the screen, you will be able to see that there is an option of actually typing your answer. This is the first tool of Classify. It allows you to embed all beautiful tools in your Google slide, which you'll be using for the presentation for your student. So on every slide, I'm going to use some tools, which will also enable you to learn those tools along with the MYP unit planning process. Okay, we have some beautiful answers coming here. We have Miss Panna Gandhi saying she's a passionate educator, lifelong learner, and hardworking. We have Miss Suman, who's sharing with us as caring, love to learn, good listener. Oh, good listening is really important. Miss Swati Joshi, she says, I'm a lifelong learner. I love that, totally. Passionate about learning and traveler. Wow. Excellent. Mary Ann, she says, I'm enthusiastic to learn IB and I'm very hardworking. Yes, all the hardworking educators do have really good hand on IB, let me tell you that. Is there a link to the presentation? I started late, sorry. Are you able to see it on your screen, Curtis?
I think you'll have to share the link with everyone so that they will be able to log into, and then we can start the interactive.
No problem. Here you go. The link is there in the chat box. Everyone, please join here. By the time you do this, I'm going to just read those lovely responses coming in the chat box. So Miss Monica says she's adaptable, passionate, learner, and dedicated. Miss Monica, would you like to unmute yourself and talk a little bit about being adaptable? Because that's a very unique skill.
Hi. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Monica.
Yeah, how are you? Absolutely. Thank you so much for the workshop, first of all. Adaptable, by adaptable, what I meant to say was that, I adapt to all the circumstances, all the conditions which come to me, which I have to face. Like I changed from, so it is all about evolving according to the, requirements. That's
why I just stopped at your response is that we become communicator. We are great in terms of teaching and learning, but adaptable is something that many of us actually lacks. So thank you so much for sharing that, Monica.
Thank you so much.
All right, let me move. So we have Mr. Piyush Rai. Piyush Rai says he is an explorer, TLP innovator, good listener, and an eternal learner. Wow, lovely. Excellent. Are you all able to see my presentation through the link which is shared?
Yes, we can see it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So if you can see, there is an option of you entering the answers. Are you able to see that on the first slide? Let's break ice.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. So let me first of all introduce you to the tools of Classify. Classify actually allows us to embed some beautiful interactive tools in our general Google Slides. We always make so many slides for every concept, every unit that we want to do, but we need to know if our kids can actually understand what we are doing. So to make sure that that happens, there are some beautiful tools which can be embedded. So the first tool that I have embedded in my slide is on Let's Break Ice, where all my participants can actually write down those 3 words. For the first, you have actually used the chat box, so I'm not going to take a little more moment in this, but this was the first tool, and in the other slides also you'll get such tools. Okay, moving forward, is there anyone in the room who hasn't introduced themselves with the 3 names?
I haven't introduced myself. Can I?
Please do, of course. We'll be delighted to know.
Yeah, so good morning all. I am Suman Mandal. Basically, I work as a Hindi teacher, so at PYP and MYP in Vijayawada, Bloomingdale International School.
Welcome on board. I'm sure there's a lot to learn. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anyone else? Okay, wonderful. Let me get going then to the next slide, a little where we have to do a thinking. What you think about concept-based curriculum? Is there a text box that you can see on the slide, everyone? The only way to go. Okay, I've already started getting the responses. So think about 1 or 2 words that comes to your mind when you think about concept-based learning. Wow, wonderful. I'm getting so many. See, I am now able to show you responses. If you can see on your slide, there are so many responses here and which I can actually share with you. This is wonderful tool of Classify that whatever answers that I'm getting from my students, I'm able to showcase back to them. So connections, relationship, relevancy, excellent, authentic, a big idea, topic in, only way to go. I like that, only way to go. Okay, by the time we have some more coming in, let me quickly go to the next slide. Okay, we have.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Excuse me. Like I had typed my answer, but how to submit it?
Okay, wait, I'll help you. So you don't have to worry. The moment you type it, it's going to appear on my screen. Can you tell me what did you type?
Yeah, authentic. That's right.
Yeah, so now you see the moment here it is, authentic.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so I have a tool from my end as a teacher where I can show responses to others and hide responses. So every time I want to show responses, I have to just click here, show responses, and it appears to you. Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
wonderful. All right, let me move forward. Let's talk a little bit about concept-based curriculum where we are talking in terms of IB. Let's also understand that it's a 3-dimensional concept which focuses on concept, facts, and skills. So we don't only deal with just the content of any subject. We also actually connect it with the relevant facts. And the most important is the ATL skills that we all know, that all the skills have to be embedded with the teaching and learning process. So rather than going with a 2-dimensional curriculum, we always consider the 3-dimensional approach, and that is what all IB is about. Let's say all 3 important aspects: concepts, facts, and skill. Please remember, every time you're going and actually planning for the session, make sure that you are considering this. So every time you're coming up with some kind of a concept, please make sure there's a fact attached to it. It's always interesting for the students to actually relate with the facts and the skills. Let me quickly show the 4 important elements of concept-based curriculum. First, what does it do? It pushes the thinking to the higher level, and it also makes the students creative and critical. The second is it analyzes the complex issues. So it gives opportunity to the students to actually deal with the issues that they will not deal in their general life. The third is the connect, the facts and the concept, which I just said, connecting facts and concepts is so essential. Let me quickly give you an example. I'm a French teacher, and if I'm teaching them something about French monuments, for me, it is extremely important to tell them some facts related to La Tour Eiffel or the Museum Louvre or the other monuments that we have. It's always interesting to bring in the concepts with the facts. And the fourth and the most important thing is create a personal relevance. The moment I start sharing my own experience with the student, okay, I went to Tour Eiffel in XYZ year, I saw these all things, this was the most interesting, I like that food. It just creates connection and make the learning more relevant and meaningful for the students. Now, if you can see, there's a drop box in the same slide where you are actually able to give your responses, which one among the four you think is the most important. I'll wait for a moment for you to think. Among all the four, which one do you think is the most important? Thank you so much. If you see that the responses are coming, again, I have responses. So there's a multiple choice question here. This is another extremely important tool. I think certain it's multiple choice, right?
It is comment.
It's comment. Oh, it's comment.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay. Is there anyone who would like to quickly share something on concept-based curriculum before we actually dig deeper into the MYP unit planning process? Is there anyone who would like to share their views?
I think I would like to share over here about the math when we were inquiring about, we were learning skip counting in grade 1. So when we did skip counting, we used the hundreds chart, and then we told them to notice if whether they could find something when they are doing it, like when they are skip counting 2 or when they are skip counting 3. So whether they can see something, and then they said that they could see when you're doing skip counting by 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, they can see that all those numbers are appearing in straight lines. Right. So then we connected it to the concept of patterns.
Oh, wow, wonderful. So that's the connection that you have made, right? And if you can also have one beautiful fact connecting with numbers, anything like the evolution of numbers or something which is related to a great mathematician, then probably, the learning will be more interesting for the students, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Let me get going with the scaffolding of MYP unit planning process. This is the first stage. Let me go slow and steady for the ones who are new to MYP. The MYP unit planning process is actually divided into 3 stages. One is inquiry. That's the first stage right on your screen. Then we have action, and then we have reflection. In inquiry, we have 7 elements that to look for. Okay. All right. The certain is that I'll quickly share this link with the person who has just joined. All right.
It's a multiple choice.
Right. It's a multiple choice. So every time there's a tool certain, I would love you to just just come in and explain everyone about the tool. So the tool that we'll be using on this slide is a multiple choice. Can you just explain that certain?
Yes, there are 3 options: determining the key and related concepts, and creating the CU and SOI, and relating the global context. I think over here you wanted to ask the participants what they find most challenging.
Yes. So I'm going to quickly explain you now, since she has said that there is an option. So when you have this 7 elements in the inquiry stage, there are obviously the most important 3 things which are there. First, to find out the concepts. Which concepts are you doing? To actually go back in your subject specific guides and find those MYP concepts. Is that difficult for you? Or creating a conceptual understanding and SOI is difficult for you? What among the 3 is the most difficult? So I'll give you a moment to choose. Okay, I'm going to display. If you see, the maximum answers are creating the CU and SOI. Can you all see the responses on your screen?
Yes, we can.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So that's exactly what I thought would be the most confusing area of MYP unit planning process. That is going to be my topic for the rest of the workshop. We are going to now see how to create the conceptual understanding, and from conceptual understanding, how we move to statement of inquiry. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for all the responses. I'm going to get back to the slide. Let me quickly describe this before we go further. Key and related concepts are the most important thing that you have to look into. MYP has 16 concepts, and then there are subject specific concepts. You always need to refer to important guides when you're doing that. MYP principles into practice and your subject specific guide. Then you have global context. We have 6 global contexts. These are the lens through which you can actually see your unit. And there is a lot of possibility of exploration in these contexts, which we are going to just see in the coming slides. Next is statement of inquiry, which is always a trigger point for all of us. It's always difficult. It's very time consuming, but we need to know a small shortcut to make that process easy, which I'm going to quickly share with you. The next is the inquiry questions. Many of you must be already aware that there are 3 types of inquiry questions: factual, conceptual, debatable. We always need to make sure that we give ample amount of inquiry in our classrooms, and that happens through this element, inquiry questions. Of course, then we have subject group objective. Every group has 4 objectives, A, B, C, D, and we need to actually use those subject group objectives 2 times in a year. So every subject objective should be actually assessed twice in a year. Then we have summative assessment, the culmination of the entire unit, and then we have approaches to learning. Let me go further and explain you the global context so that we can further understand this element. All right. Coming to global context, what's the first and the foremost thing that most of us do not know is that they are based on PYP transdisciplinary themes. This is something that most of us do not know, because we end up teaching MYP, but maybe not know that the connection actually comes from PYP. So if it is who we are in PYP, it actually becomes identities and relationship. Or where we are in place and time actually becomes orientation in space and time in MYP. The next is the global context provide a common language. It's absolutely powerful for contextual learning, because you always need to give a context to your unit. Anytime a concept is just not enough, you need to make sure that there's enough context and exploration given to each concept that you pick up. Provide common points of entry for inquiries, extremely important. Promotes multilingualism, intercultural understanding, and global engagement. I can explain you how it is. Build on the powerful themes of global significance. So what MYP research and development team has done is that they have identified 6 major global significance themes. And then they have put those themes as lenses to look at any concept of any subject. Okay, so those are known as global context. Let me quickly tell you the names here. So personal and cultural expression, identities and relationship, orientation in space and time, globalization and sustainability, fairness and development, scientific and technical explorations. So these are the 6 global contexts. Okay, moving further to the most important slide of the presentation, and that will solve a lot of queries. The first and the foremost thing is to not jump to the statement of inquiry. Never ever directly create a statement of inquiry. Always go step by step. So first, pick a key concept from principles into practice. Pick up related concept, at least 2 or 3 as per the length of your unit. That always come from subject specific guide. You mix them along and make a meaningful sentence that is known as conceptual understanding. Conceptual understanding is then actually given a lens, that is a global context, to create a statement of inquiry. Let me quickly go back and emphasize on this area, global context. Can you see in bracket, I've clearly written exploration. So if you want to have clarity, because it is so wide, personal and cultural expression, my God, this is so big. What is there in personal and cultural expression, exploration? That's what we need to know. So then we have to actually pick up a correct exploration for it. I'm going to explain this in my coming slides. Anyone, any queries on this slide before I move to the inquiry questions part? All right, great then. Let's move further. We have inquiry questions. As I said, factual, conceptual, and debatable. These are the questions that we have to thoughtfully think and embed them in our sessions to make our sessions more lively. Coming to the next element, ATL. Can you see a tip down? Is there a possibility?
You can see, yeah, on the left hand side below, you can see there is a bulb like thing. So if you click on it, that is the tip.
All right, let me quickly explain you what is that bulb all about. So with Classify tool, what exactly happens is that you always get an opportunity to give a small tip to your students. So if I am presenting you, I am teacher based and you are student based. In your student interface, you will be always be able to see on your left hand side, certain, am I right, left hand side?
Yes, left hand side below.
So in the left hand side below, you can see there's a tip given. So I'm giving a very generic tip that I'm sure most of you must be knowing, that ATL skill is something that we must embed it implicitly or explicitly in our teaching and learning process. So now, for example, if you're teaching transportation to your little ones, like early years, or maybe if you are teaching PYP, some good concept of who we are, or you are exploring some big concepts in middle years program, every time you need to give them some tip. And also for the students who need tip, right? So first, you don't have to actually give them, but the moment they start facing difficulty, you can always say them, okay, left hand side, just see, there's a tip for you. Okay, this is a wonderful tool that Classify has actually embedded, and I have personally used it. It is just lovely. Let me quickly come here and make you understand with the ATL. There are categories and cluster. It's extremely important to understand the vocabulary of ATL that has been used in the guides. There are 5 categories and then there are 10 clusters. So the 5 categories are communication, self-management, social thinking, and research skill. And each of the category has its cluster. And these clusters have then further divided into skill indicators that are given on page number 96 on MYP principles into practice. Always make sure when you are making your unit plan, it is just not important to take the content, but also very, very important to strategically think of those skills that will be helpful in making sure of the delivery of the content. All right, let me move ahead. So as I said, the MYP unit planner is divided into 3: inquiry, action, and reflection. This is the second area of the MYP unit planner, which is action. So under action, then we have 3 elements: content, description of the learning process, which is again divided into 3 as learning experiences. Learning experiences and teaching strategies allows you to bring everything at this place. So if you are embedding an ATL, please make sure you write here. If you are having some nice strategy, some digital tool use, each and everything that you're doing, put it over here and then relate it with your skills and concepts. That is very, very important. Or else what we end up doing is just putting a lesson plan. That's not enough. We need to make sure that we start making connections to it. All right. The next is formative assessment. We normally make sure that we take formative assessments like, formal, informal, exit slips, group discussion, the way you want to have it. But you need to have that kind of description here, all the assessments which helps you to plan for summative. Third and the most important is differentiation. IB is all about differentiation. We want our students to feel extremely, extremely important. So what happens is you judge, assess, and actually analyze what kind of learners do I have in my class, and accordingly, then you plan your session. The next is resources, all kind of resources to be put up here. Let me move to the last element, that is reflection. Reflection is divided again into 3: prior, during, after teaching the unit. Again, let me just go back and remind you that there are some guiding questions given in evaluating the unit plan. That's the second guide that I'm referring in my workshop. The first guide that I referred was MYP principles into practice. The second I'm referring is evaluating MYP unit plans. Always go back and look at those questions that will allow you to actually have some constructive reflection of the unit. And I think still there is one more tool here. Certain, would you like to quickly say?
Yes,
Excuse me?
you have inserted the drawing tool.
Excellent. So can you just elaborate everybody about the drawing tool, Certain?
Yes, in the drawing tool below, you can find there are shapes, and then there is a line, there is a pen. Then when you click on the pen, you can change the thickness of the pen. Okay, you also have an eraser, and you have a highlighter. Then you have a text box also. So when you have to enter over here, you can use a text box, and when you click on TA over there, that's the text box. So you get a choice of different fonts. So you can use the font you want to type in. Then you have a color autofill also over here. Okay, so you can use use a text box, or you can use a pen, and then you can choose the color also. When you click on that autofill thing, you can see a variety of colors over there. So you can choose the color in which you would like your font to appear or to write with the pen. Okay, so over here, what did you want the participants to do? I think so about the reflection about any unit.
Yes, actually, if you can share your thoughts over here. So basically, it's more about bringing up a tool and letting them know that there is an option. So I don't want you to draw at the moment, but what I want you to think is how you can embed this tool in your reflection activity when you are actually doing in your classes. So when you have reflection, you can always embed this beautiful tool called drawing tool, which will help students to illustrate their thinking, not just the commenting and the texting part, but also they can illustrate it. Ms. Panna, I think you have a query, is it?
You said some name of the book, some reference. What was that? Evaluating?
MYP Unit Plans. Let me quickly give you a drive link for that, which is open for
great.
all. Yes, I have just uploaded it, and here it is. There is also an option in Classify to add material. So for example, you want to add a worksheet or a tool or some kind of PDF, any kind of image, all that can be added and embedded in Classify. It's a very simple and easy tool, and actually enhances the whole process of teaching and learning. I've just put the drive link also, so that you'll just get this document. It's a very, very, very good document. Actually, very helpful when you do building quality curriculum. That is a BQC step, which comes in every school in MYP or any other programs where you have to actually build the quality curriculum. So it's an assurance check that is done by IB. For them, this is the document which is used.
So, excuse me, you have shared the drive link from your drive, right?
Yes, but it's available on IBO also. If you
No,
have
but I cannot see that. That's why.
Okay. I'm unable to understand. Are you not able to access the drive?
No, when I have clicked on this drive, my drive is opening. So where is that which you have shared the document or something?
Yes.
Is it? One sec. Let's
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I think you will have to
Share the document link.
The document link. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Anyone on the internet can link and view. It's already okay. Get link. Let me see if that's what. Okay, okay, perfect.
Anyone can link if you have changed to, then we can see that.
Anyone on the internet can view it. Yes, I've done that.
Yeah, now you can share it.
Can you see now? And if you cannot, just drop me your email ID and I'll just mail you. Don't worry about that. If at all that's an issue, don't worry.
Yeah, because still, ma'am, no problem. I'll share my email ID, but you are still sharing the drive link. You need to share the
No, actually
document link.
Yeah. Actually, what has happened, the document is in the big space of my drive. I have to just shift it to my folder and then.
Fine, I'll just drop in my email ID.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
No problem at all. All right, let's get going and let's do some activity to actually understand whatever we have done and we have covered so far. Let me move to the next slide, which says mindful or mindful. Which one do you like? Can we have some responses in the chat box? What do you like? Mindful or mindful? Or let me ask this. Okay, you're mindful. All right. Okay, I'm glad it's mindful, not mindful. That means I'm not giving you over information. All right. Okay, fine. Let's get going and go to the most interesting part of this workshop. Okay, I would need all of you to pay attention at this because this is really, really important and the essence of what we have been talking till now. If you see, what I've done is taken an example to explain this entire MYP unit planning process. Okay. The concept or the unit name you can say is education. I want to express about different education systems to the students. I want them to dig deeper what is happening in this entire structure of education in any of the country. Now, what I've done is the same unit can be looked through all the 6 lenses. That's exactly what we have talked about. Okay, so I have put all these 6 lenses below down. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain you how to pick up any of the global context to suit the unit. Okay, I'm going to go very slow. If you have any queries, please feel free to stop by. Okay, somebody has shared the link of the document. Thank you, Curtis. That's really kind of you. Thank you. Okay, let me go here for the next link. Global context and explorations here. So if you can see, there are global context here. Descriptions is given and we have exploration. Now, I want you to pay a little attention over here in terms of the description. You see, who am I and who are we? These are what, nothing but the PYP transdisciplinary things. So the first thing that I've told you that the link is through PYP. We should never forget that. Here are the context. This is the description. And these are the exploration that we have to pick up. Okay. And moving to the next slide is the next 3 global contexts. Okay, now I'm going to pick up few global context exploration to make sense out of my unit. So check the next slide over here. Okay, here I am going to take a little while and explain you this, how I have picked up these exploration. Okay, identities and relationship. So what I have picked as exploration is identity formation. Why? Why do you think I have picked identity formation? So I've written a question right there. What came in my mind as an inquiry question? Okay. How does education contribute to the formation and shaping of person's identity? Okay. So if I want my kids to understand how it is related to the formation and shaping of someone's identity, I have picked up identity formation. Let me see. The next one, evolution and adaptation, is the possible exploration that I can take with education unit. What did I think about? how education systems are evolved and adapted over a period of time by the community. So if I really want my students to understand the evolution process, then orientation and space and time with evolution and adaptation as a context exploration. Personal and cultural expression, ways of life. What did I think about? How education shapes the ways of life of individuals. Fairness and development. I picked up difference and inclusion over here because I wanted my students to understand how to eradicate differences and provide education for all. Such kind of unit like fairness and development with such kind of global context exploration actually gives us an opportunity to bring in services action in the whole learning process. This kind of unit will actually allow students to do some kind of service activity embedded with the curriculum. The next is scientific and technical innovation. Virtual environment is something which can be, possible as exploration. What did I think about? So I thought about how virtual learning have enhanced the teaching and learning practices, something which is related to COVID. And the last is globalization and sustainability. Diversity and interconnection is the global context exploration, how education helps us understand diversity and build connection across boundaries. So I'm going a little further and talking about the global engagement, multilingualism, and all those elements here. Okay, any queries, anyone, before we go further?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm disturbing you. But the link which is shared is asking for the...
Okay, let me explain you that. Don't worry, Ms. Panna, I'll explain you. So, IBO.org has an option of making PRC, Program Resource Center is the whole section that is given by IB, which has all the guides. But you need to have PRC access. Let me ask you, are you working in some IB school?
No, that's why
No problem.
currently I'm not,
No
but
problem.
I want to explore it.
No problem.
I was working, currently not.
Okay. Let me quickly tell you. So if you are working in an IB school, what happens is you make your account on IBO and the request actually goes to your coordinator and then they accept it and you have the access of all the resources. In case you don't have, you have already shared your email ID to me. I'm going to email you this document. Don't worry.
Thank you very much.
No problem at all. Is there anyone? Okay. All right. Thank you, Curtis.
I want to ask one question because I am from the PYP. For personal and cultural expression, what is the PYP transdisciplinary theme?
Okay. Can you share with me all the 6 transdisciplinary themes?
Identities and relationships, I think it is who we are. Orientation in space and time is where we are in time and space. Fairness and development, I think it is sharing the planet. Scientific and technical innovation is how the world works. Globalization and sustainability is, I think so, which is left. How we express ourselves, personal and cultural expression. Yes, I got it.
Personal and cultural expression.
Thank you.
That's correct. So that's the most important thing. Certain, maximum of the MYP teachers actually do not know that there's such a strong link between PYP and MYP. And actually the global context are derived from the PYP transdisciplinary themes.
Okay, and globalization and sustainability is how we organize ourselves.
How we organize ourselves would be globalization and
globalization and sustainability. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
All right, great, lovely. Okay, let's move further and do something more interesting. So what we are going to do is I'm going to break you into small group. Only 2 groups we'll create. Certain, if you could just help me with making and setting up that. But let me quickly explain the activity. Okay, so what is our breakout challenge? The first and the foremost thing is I'm going to give you a new unit, which you have to look at a global context and an exploration. So we are going to divide it into connect, extend, and challenge. Connect this unit to a global context. Extend your thinking to find out an appropriate global context exploration and challenge yourself to make SOI. We do not actually target to do all three, but we are going to see how much we are able to do. If you are able to find a global context exploration that will make sense to your unit, even that is fine. So we'll have some brainstorming session in this. Let me quickly explain you this. So the unit that I have taken over here is My Planet and Me. Like I have done for education, I am giving you as My Planet and Me to do it. What you have to do is think of an appropriate exploration and tell me why you have chosen that. So when I will ask you why you have chosen that, you have to actually think of that one inquiry question that is coming in your mind, like how I related every exploration with one question. Any queries, anyone?
We can choose anyone.
Yes, of course, because any unit can be looked through any of the global context lenses. It's upon us what we want to teach the students, how we want to drag our unit, where we want the direction of the unit. Okay, but before that, let me quickly go back to the Classify wonderful tools and let me exactly tell you what happened. There are ample slide templates which are available in Classify, and it is so easy to use. You have to just add on. So like you can see right on my screen, what I've done is I've taken slide template, connect, extend, and challenge. That's my breakout challenge activity for you all, or like you give this kind of activities to your student, you can just bring up such kind of beautiful slides and make your presentation and teaching and learning more and more interactive. So like this I have done. This is so wonderful because you have an option of editing. It's all movable and you can edit it. Certain, do you want to add anything at this point of time?
No, only that I will not be able to help you to make the breakout rooms because
Okay.
I am not the co-host.
Okay, let me see if I can help myself. Can you help me? How many participants are there here?
No, I cannot also see that. See the...
Okay, you can't. Polls and participants. Okay, 24 participants and breakout room. Is there an option? I don't think there's an option for making a breakout room. Yinan, are you here?
What we can do is that we have this as a text slide, so we can input our answers, connect, extend, and challenge. Or do you want to show?
No, that's good. The slide that you can see has a text box option?
Yes, connect, extend, and challenge. This slide which you are showing, it has a text box option, and then we can type in individually. We can work on it.
Perfect. I think we can do this because breakout, I think that will take longer than expected if we'll try to do that. So let me go back here, My Planet and Me. This is the topic of the unit, and you have to look through these lenses. The lenses are given here and the explorations are given here. You can also refer to MYP principles into practice, and you can start typing your answers at connect, extend, and challenge. I go back and explain. So the first thing that you have to do is decide on the global context. Where do you want to, what is the direction of your unit, of My Planet and Me? Wow, I already have a lot of answers coming in. Wonderful participants. MYP principles into practice. I have uploaded the document in case you want to look through the global context exploration given. Page number 19, certain you can also share, you can actually see the link between the PYP transdisciplinary theme and the global context. Orientation in space and time is where we are in place and time. And the one that you asked me is, yes, we figured out that, right? So it's there on page number 19, certain, if you want to quickly see. Is there anyone who is still not able to find the global context exploration in the guide? Anyone who needs help?
Page number you said?
60. Page number 60, global context explorations are given on MYP principles into practice. Okay, I'm going to make one more thing very easy. I have dropped evaluating MYP unit plans for everyone to access it. I've just downloaded it. Yes, Monica, I did that. No problem. You're not troubling me at all, Monica. I have put both the guides over here. I've just downloaded and I've put it. You're welcome. always remember, guys, I'm getting some inputs as only the global context exploration. It's very vast. Let me go back and tell you this point again, that if I pick up globalization and sustainability, it is very, very vast. I need to give a little narrower approach to my unit, and hence I have to pick up exploration. Always remember to pick up the exploration. So I have a lot of answers coming in here, wherein few of them have not picked up the exploration. I request you all to go to page number 60 on MYP Principles into Practice and look at that. No problem, Curtis. Thanks for joining. See you in the next time. I'll be taking a follow-up session on this where we are going to explore subject-specific statement of inquiry. So we are going to pick up the concepts from the guides, and then we are going to actually make the SOI in my coming up sessions. Bye-bye. Take care. Nice meeting you, Curtis. Sure, I can reshare that. Which guide do you need, Monica? Both the guides are being shared here. Just let me know if you need any help. Global context, it's on page number 60, MYP Principles into Practice. Okay, my ID. All right. Okay, I have some great answers over here. I'm just going to show you all these answers, and then we are going to wrap up the session. Let me go back here and show you. One have put connect as modernization, industrialization, and engineering. So that's the area that they want to explore. We also have an SOI coming in, someone who has really tried well. Exploration of the outer space help us realize how conservation is important. And the exploration that was being taken over here was space explorations. Okay. Scientific and technical innovation. The unit name is My Planet and Me. This is extending the way and then challenging herself. Thank you so much for this SOI, everyone. All right. Certain, do you have anything to add before I end this session?
No.
All right. Let me end this session with a beautiful slide, which will always make you remember something. I got this in one of the articles which I was reading on LinkedIn. It says, when you have knowledge, the dots are like this. When you have experiences, you start connecting the dots. And when you actually get into the creativity mode, where you have a lot of knowledge and experience, you start making something very beautiful. That's exactly how MYP is all about. MYP is so creative and innovative that it will allow you to explore so much. There is a lot of freedom given in this curriculum framework. I hope you enjoyed the session. The next session which we have is actually based on how we will create the conceptual understanding and then moving to the statement of inquiry. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Is there any other question that I can help you with? Please let me know.
I just thought of something.
Yes.
Seeing this is really very cool. And I just thought that we can link this to Bloom's taxonomy.
Yes.
So when you have knowledge, it is just like you are in the lowermost level, as means you know facts and you're just remembering it. And then when you have experience, maybe you have started analyzing it. Okay, you're applying it and you're analyzing it. And then when you go to higher level, when we are evaluating and when you're creating, then you come to the last one.
Yes, that's so nice. That's such a wonderful connection. We are actually true IB learners, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking of this and I like this. Thank you for sharing this.
Thank you so much. Do share with your students. They'll have so much fun with it. Thank you so much, everyone.